Hi everyone, it's Mish here and welcome to my channel. If you're new, thank you so much for popping in, and if you are one of my returning crafty friends and kindred spirits, I thank you so much for hopping on and hanging out today. As you can tell, today will be another page in the Daphne's Diary Gluebook Journal series that I have on my channel playlist. If you haven't checked out all the other videos, then they are all there in the playlist. And if you have been on this journey with me, it's coming up to 2 years. Wow. And we've done a lot of really nice pages, I think. I don't usually look through this one anymore, except when I'm filming the videos. So I always kind of like going through it. Now this is a chunky monkey. It got to be a little bit too fat, and in saying that, I've dropped it a few times and it's still staying together. But we then went on to volume 2. Volume 2 is the same width. It's 3-inch spine. I made this out of a cereal box. The signatures, there's still 5 signatures, but I put less pages in the signatures. It is gaping a little bit, but not near as much as the first volume did. And so today, so we're quickly filling up our pages. I still think that one's just so cute, and you can't really even pick up all the little gems and stuff on them. They are sweet. And I love this one too, the fly away balloon. I love that. Love them all. I'm loving my double page spreads, all my interactive ones. A little teapot here. And so that's one of my favorites. This is I just love this one. Everything just opens up and gives you a little bit of a surprise. And this one was, I believe this one was last week. And this one was the aperture, or the diorama, which is just, I think that is so cool. And then we did our little mice. Happy spring. So I'm going to be using, I'm going to do this side, and I'm just going to set this aside for now. The volume that I'm going to be working on is from number 1, but I think this might have been from volume 3. Okay, so in each edition, we're getting a set of houses, and I actually had 2 of the same magazine. I'm not sure what houses came in this one, so I can't tell you which one, but other houses to choose from. There was this one, and then there was another sheet of houses, which I'm not sure where that, oh, it's right here. Right here. So there's other houses to choose from if you have different editions. But I'm using this one. I've already cut out part of it, and I put backing paper on it kind of before I thought about what I'm going to do, and I think I'm going to put other backing paper on it. I just have a piece of my own scrap paper here, and what are we going to do? So what I thought we would do, let me show you the images first. I'm going to do kind of a collage. What I initially thought was, and this is how it's going to work, maybe we'll do this first, is that it's going to open up and there's going to be an image on the inside. I kind of thought about opening the door, but I felt that there was more of a collage by kind of pretending you're opening the door in a way. So I've cut out my background paper, and I've cut a slit in it with my X-Acto knife, my precision knife. I just lined up my house about where I wanted it, and then I made a little slit that's about 5 inches long, and I've made a little hinge. And the little hinge is just going to go inside there, like so. And this little hinge was 1.5 inches wide, and I just folded it in half. So then I'm just going to get some glue down on the inside. And just get that glued down. Like so. And then I'm going to just put some glue on this side and set my house down about where I want it. So I kind of want it even up and down, but you need to make sure it's right on the hinge so that it will open. If it's not right on the hinge, if it's over this way, it's not going to open right. So you want to get it right on that hinge so that it will open. Okay. And then that's where this piece of paper came in. If I hadn't put this backing on, then I would have done the hinge first and then put the backing on. But because I did, I thought, well, let's just put on a different backing paper. And this one kind of matches the one underneath it. So if you see a bit of the hinge, if you want to distress that side, that would be fine too. And I'm just going to take my glue stick and just go over this and get my... And then with this side, I was thinking you could use it to write a little letter or do a little journaling. It can be like a little private little journal spot. And with this paper, I just got this out of just a notebook, just a scribbler type notebook. And it had the date at the top. So I thought, well, that would work because then I could put the date on it. I just want to get it right over to there. Like so. That's good. Like so. And then we'll just cut around this, which I can do some of it now and I can do some of it later. But that on now. We'll just cut off this excess. And I'll cut out the little notches for the roof later. I'm sure you don't want to see me cutting out the notches. Okay. I have a little pair of scissors here that I do a little fine work with. Let's try to get this out here. Hope everybody's doing well. I'm doing this a little bit ahead of time as I've got the time today. Today's a Sunday, so I already have a video coming out this Friday, so this is going to be the next Friday. So whatever I talk about today isn't really going to be that current, I guess. It's raining today, but the way that May has been going, I'm sure it's probably going to be raining in June too when this airs. Okay, so then we have this little journal spot. We can put our little date and make our little notes. So then I looked through the magazine looking for, well, what's going to be my focal point? And I looked through I have 3 editions so far. And I just couldn't find something that was inspiring me. But I kept going back to this little guy. And every time I look at him in the magazine, I love him. So I said to myself, if you love him, put him in your book so that you'll see him regularly. So he was so all this came from issue 1, what I'm going to use. And you'll have to hunt around, but so he came from page 57. I also found this little clock because I thought what I'm going to do is just find some images that I think would be important for me in my home. And, so that's what I did. So I went around and I just found some images. Now this one here isn't from this issue, but because I love books, I'm a book fan. And what I tend to do is whenever I see kind of a little book cluster, I take it out. But where you do find the books is on the back page, which I've already cut out this one. But always on the back page of the magazine, there are books, because she does a book review. So here, well, I lie. Well, she's got a big set of books here, but oftentimes the image on the book tips is a pile of books. So just look through, and if you want some books, pick out some books that you feel that you like. So I put that there. I hunted around for quite a while for some background paper, as nothing was really inspiring me. But I really like this, and I kind of felt, well, we could do it right on there. But then I found my doily, and I kind of thought that this might work a little better. So I'm kind of thinking, once I get it together, I'm kind of thinking something like this maybe. And then tuck that kind of under Kitty, and then have some books. So do we think that elevates it? I think it kind of does. It doesn't really stand out itself, but it allows a platform to put the collage on. So let's get this down. I'm just using some Elmer's glue. I woke up with a terrible headache. Actually, it woke me up at 3 o'clock. I think it has to do with my neck and my pillow or something. And the weather doesn't help. My arthritis has just been crazy. I'm going to put this up a little bit high so that I can put my saying down below. I didn't put a saying last week. Last week was the only saying, I think, in the book that I didn't, only collage that I didn't actually put a saying, which I forgot at the time. So I'm kind of thinking, this I want to tuck down under there. It's got pieces cut off, so that's fine. And then I found these little flowers. And then the books are going to go on top, and that's going to go underneath. So the thing that's going to go the most underneath is this is the envelope. So we'll get this down, and this will be our starting point for our collage. So I'm saying right about there. Okay, and then we'll get our flowers down like so, because I'm tucking them in under there, and then we'll get the clock. I've got my watercolor paints out on the table because there's no room in here to do kind of this paperwork, this collage. I do my own collage on Wednesdays, or Daphne's diary, and I do my own collage on Wednesdays, and I do a Marguerite Miller on Sunday. So there's really no room here to do my mixed media stuff. So I've commandeered the kitchen table, which is fine. And I found a new book, and it's called The Abstract Watercolor, I think, from Isolde Studios. And I am loving it. I'm not great at watercolor, but I like her actually, I'm not good at watercolor at all, which is why I've pulled everything out, because I just want to spend some time with it. Okay, and then our little books. So I think that looks cute, and those are things that are important to me. That's not Chester. Chester's an big orange guy, but you know, I love that guy, and he reminds me of, you know, that I have a cat, and that I do like having my coffee and too much sweets. I love my books. I love, not time as such, but I like clocks, and I like the kind of vintagey feel of that. And then the flowers, and of course my correspondence and my channel and stuff, that's important. And then for my saying, I thought this is where magic happens. And it kind of goes along with the other page, because the other page says something about magic. And when I put this up, we can have a look at that. So I thought that would be relevant. And then I thought about, well, are we going to decorate this? And what I thought I would do is I got these washies at the dollar store. I've mentioned them in, I think, my last video. And I'm thinking, you know, just put a little washi. And I can't really put gems and rivets on there because this is going to close flat. But I thought that this would be fine. And just get a little bit of washi down, just as a little colorful border there. And then I kind of thought maybe that's it really, because if I'm going to write, then, I mean, I also cut out this little bouquet of flowers. You could put that on if you want it as a little bouquet. I'm not really sure if I want that or not, so I'm not going to bother. You could put like a little, if I had thought about maybe a little butterfly or something from here. But I find that it's hit and miss with like little butterflies and stuff. Like some issues there seems to be a lot, and some, oh here I am, oh Canada. There seems to be a lot of little butterflies and little floral things, which I absolutely love. But sometimes you just can't find anything. But yeah, but you know, if you have an issue, or if you're following through with a different magazine, because you don't have to have Daphne's Diary. You can have any kind of magazine where you like the images and stuff, and just follow along. Anyways, you can, if you find this too plain, then you can add something there. So then what I'm going to do to keep it closed is I've got one of these little latch things. The girls gave it. Now this overflows the door a bit, so I should have pushed that in further. I should have pushed that way. So if you're doing your collage, make sure, and same here, I should have pushed this down some so that it's not really showing. I could cut that off, but I don't want to. I could pull it out and put in a different floral. Or, okay, what else could I do? Not much else, but yeah, so keep that in mind when you put your door on, that, you know, you don't want your background image to be showing. Okay, so then with this little latch, these are actually back of picture frames. The little latches on the back of the pictures. The girls, I think I said that, the twins gave them to me one Christmas. And I use them all the time. And there's still a million left, which I'm happy for. So then that just kind of holds your door. And then you open your door up. And there you are. Okay, and then that's just going to go in here. So I thought that would look good there. So we're going dum-de-dum, and then we'll pull our latch down. We'll get our and then we have our little collage inside. Okay, and I'm sure you don't want me watch me to put the page down. So I hope you liked this. It was another relatively quickie one, but I think it's a really good one. So if you did like this, I'd love for you to give me a like and subscribe if you haven't already. My subscribers seem to go up. One day I've at a certain number, then I lost 3, then I've gained 2, then I've lost 1. It just goes up and down like a little yo-yo, which I can't explain it. But this is the last piece of last pages in the journal. So I have to think of something for that middle spread. I do have another cereal box to create another one, but yeah. So I do hope you have a great day, and I hope that you stay safe and well, and bye for now.